welcome back to Taylor Talks. This is a fun little interview show where I get to interview different people with different careers. And today I have the most wonderful guest, Kathryn Schellhase. Thanks for being here, Kathryn.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm super excited. I'm glad you're here today. We're going to get into a few things about Kathryn, but real quick, let me just mention UPKEEP. If you don't know what UPKEEP is, we're a home warranty, but we actually come out 4 times a year. Yes, 4 times, and we do maintenance on everything from your HVAC system, electrical, plumbing, and your appliances. So if you know anyone who's in the market buying a home and they don't want to do the home maintenance or they don't know how, give us a call. Okay, so let's get into a little bit about Kathryn. So Kathryn, what really got you into insurance?
So my husband and I started this company, Goosehead. Well, we didn't start the company, but we started it into insurance during COVID. So my husband started, he came from 24 years in the car business.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yes, so he came from the car business, and I was blessed to be able to stay home with our 4 children.
There you go.
Yes, always was able to work part-time teaching and whatnot, teaching, coaching, things like that, professional volunteer. And so during COVID, my husband got sent home, and we really reassessed what we wanted to do with the next 15, 20 years of our professional career, and we had always wanted to work together. And so that's how we got into the insurance business. He had been approached by Goosehead to see if he wanted to pursue this, and after we did our due diligence and really looked into the company, what their culture was, what they were about, we got on board because it really resonated with how we treat customers.
Yeah.
So
awesome. So there's a ton of other insurance companies out there. So I know you said what they had really resonated with you, but were there some other reasons why you chose Goosehead besides them approaching your husband?
Yes. So like you said, there are many options out there. There are many opportunities for people to be brokers, to be insurance agents. However, we really liked the culture and the story behind Goosehead. So Goosehead was started several years ago by Mark and Robin Jones, and they had a problem that they solved, which all great businesses solve people's problems.
Yep, they see
just
a problem.
Like UPKEEP.
Yeah, exactly.
We love that. We love that.
You know, they see a problem and they're like, how can we rectify this problem, make it better?
Yes.
So I like that.
Exactly. Awesome. And it started with Robin Jones was much like myself. She primarily stayed at home and managed the house, but also among her duties was to secure insurance for their investment properties.
Oh,
and
okay.
The process was so confusing and arduous and difficult to deal with. And she came home one day and she said, "Mark, I can do this better." And he said, "You do it. You run with it." And she started the company, and $1 billion later,
wow,
that's Goosehead.
That's awesome. Well, and I think it's really neat that her story kind of is a parallel to yours as well. It's the same kind of thing that she was at home and she's like, this has to be different with you. You're like, I need to do something.
Right.
So I think that's really neat. So what do you really like about helping people? I mean, insurance, everyone has to have it, but what do you like about helping people, I guess?
So I love people's stories. I spend a lot of time just interviewing my customers, finding out everything about their situation. One, because I'm a curious person and I love people, but also because when I get that full picture, I know to ask questions they didn't think to ask, and I also know about coverages they didn't know exist.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to get the right fit for them, and I also bring in my teaching ability. So I want to educate my customers because I don't know about you when you bought your first house or when we bought our first house. We were not educated at all. And our insurance agent just said, "This is your insurance policy, sign here." And we did, and we had no clue what we were signing.
They didn't explain anything.
They didn't really explain anything.
Yeah.
So,
and that makes it so hard, especially, the whole home buying process. A lot of people don't know what's happening, so it's always good to get people that are actually going to explain it to them. Because you should never end that transaction and have no idea what the title company's doing.
Right.
What your realtor's doing. What your insurance agent's doing. Like, they should be helping you and be personable like you are, explaining that stuff, because they need to know, because when it's time to use it, how you ask that, you get the whole story. What if they don't have the coverage for something they probably should have had, but the right questions weren't asked?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a very scary thing, and depending on what it is, it could be quite costly when they could have gotten, was it an endorsement? Is that the correct term? An endorsement on their insurance, if their agent would have taken the time with them to be personable and learn about them. So I think that's great.
Exactly. For example, okay, so I'll take one of the most prevalent insurance claim, which is water. Okay, so it's either going to be wind and hail, which affects your roof. If you own your home more than 10 years, you're probably going to have a hail or wind claim, but also water. So you mentioned endorsements. So sudden and accidental water, that would be like a pipe bursting or your dishwasher overflowing, that kind of thing, where something breaks and the water just gushes out. Sudden and accidental, that's covered, right? But water backup, what if your commode doesn't flow the way that it should? What if the water doesn't go out, but it decides to come back up? That is not automatically covered. That's an endorsement.
Wow.
And if your insurance person doesn't know and they let you get a policy without it, then you're really up a messy creek without a paddle.
Yeah, definitely.
Seepage, hidden water, that's water behind the walls. That is not covered unless it's put on as an endorsement. Flood, that's not automatically covered unless it's put as an endorsement or a separate policy.
That's crazy.
So water is not just water. Those are things you need to think about. So give me a call or talk to your insurance agent if you are not sure what's covered.
Most definitely, yeah, because I always say this and I'll say it again, it's cheaper to be proactive than to be reactive when something happens.
Amen. And that's why I love your company, because you are very proactive, and prevention is worth, and what is that? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Definitely. Well, and in our maintenance, we'll check the supply lines, check the plumbing for leaks and stuff, because a lot of people, they don't think about it unless it's an immediate issue, and same with the insurance stuff. I'm not going to need that. And it's like, okay, well, depending on where your house is, this is something you may actually want to look into and think about doing. Same with the upkeep side. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm fine, I'll do the maintenance on my own. Are you really doing it?
Right.
Is it really getting done? So yeah, it's that same kind of thing. But yeah, I think that's so important that you mentioned all that stuff, because that's stuff I had not even thought about. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's an endorsement. Like, oh, wow, and I'm hoping that someone watching it clicks in your head. Maybe you need to give Kathryn a call if that's something that you're not really sure about, because you should know what's covered under your home insurance, because if you don't know, it's probably not the best thing.
Exactly.
Well, and I feel like a lot of people, so for example, like when I first, and this is before networking, so I didn't really know any insurance agents. When I got my first car, I literally was on the phone with some random person, and I'm like, I just need full coverage. Didn't ask what was covered, didn't ask about anything.
Right.
And I think when people it's their first time car stuff or home, I feel like a lot of people take that kind of, just get me covered. Cheapest, whatever, let's do it.
Yes.
And not actually thinking about what could happen, because I didn't at first.
Right.
Because I was like, I just need to get this car off the lot. You know what I mean? Like, I just need to get this mortgage down so I can get in this house. People aren't thinking, so I definitely think this is awesome that you're here today and we're talking about this. So people, it's putting a little seed in your brain, like, hey, like, this is very, very important. And with inflation, if something's not covered and you have a company to come out and fix it, it's going to be way more expensive now.
Absolutely.
Like jobs, what they used to be, it's not that anymore. And with everyone is busy, I know that all contractors, everyone is so busy right now. it's going to be that much more expensive. And if you don't even talk to your insurance agent and get that endorsement,
yes.
I mean, what did you say earlier? You're up a creek with down a creek with no paddle.
Yes.
You're going to be drowning in the amount of money that you're going to have to pay for this stuff. So please, guys, get with your insurance agent. Talk to Kathryn if you don't have a good relationship, because she knows what she's doing, and she's going to get the whole story and make sure you get what you need covered.
Yes.
I think that sounds good.
I think that sounds good. That
awesome,
sounds good.
Kathryn. Well, anything else you want to add?
So we talked a lot about home. We talked a lot about auto. Give me a call. Come by the office. We'll sit. We'll have some coffee. We'll chit chat about it. Just throwing it out there. Not only home and auto. We do umbrella, flood, earthquake, jewelry, RV, boat, motorcycle, ATV, golf cart. If you have a golf cart, please get some insurance on it.
Definitely.
Wedding insurance. Did you know there's wedding insurance?
I didn't realize that.
Wedding insurance. Pet insurance. We do a little bit of life, renters, and landlord. People are getting Airbnbs, VRBOs. They're branching out and lending their house out or renting their house out. And that's some specialized coverage that you need as well.
Ooh, so that's another thing I didn't even think about. But yeah, a lot of people are taking that Airbnb route, to make some money. But if they don't have proper coverages, things could happen.
Exactly. So,
oh gosh.
God bless you. If you are doing VRBO with your house, that's awesome. Good on you. And also, if you're having a side hustle with your car and you're doing, what are those?
Uber,
Lyft, any of
DoorDash.
those, DoorDash.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We do have coverage for that. However, if your insurance agent does not know you're doing it, you're not covered. So please just call me, call your agent, let them know that you're doing these things, and let us get you covered.
Most definitely. Well, thank you so much, Kathryn. Guys, of course, she brought up like 16 things I didn't even think about. So if this is something you haven't thought about, hey, please contact her, because, again, you want to be covered before it happens, because after it happens, it's too late, okay?
Okay.
Well, awesome. Thanks for being here today, Kathryn.
Thank you.
I appreciate it greatly, and thank you for bringing all this amazing information. Like I said, I hope someone out there that's connected with you resonated, and you're giving Kathryn a call. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time. See ya.